Some of the kindest people in the world are those who have gone through a great deal of hardship and adversity. They may have been born into poverty. They may have had to struggle all throughout their lives. They may have been hurt by others, rejected, neglected, abandoned, mistreated. But what I find interesting is that when it comes to those who are the most callous and cruel, it's often the case that they have also experienced the same kinds of hardships in life. So how is it that the same conditions can bring about such different results in a person's character? I've listened to people talk about the difficulties that they've faced in life. And some people will say, I had to struggle all on my own. No one helped me. So why should I bother to help anyone? No one cared about me, so why should I care about anyone? Others have hurt me, so why should I be kind to anyone? And I've heard others say, life has been hard for me. I know what it's like to struggle all on your own. I know what it feels like to be hurt, to be mistreated, and so on. And because I know what it's like, I don't wish for anyone to have to go through that. When I see that others are struggling, that others are hurting, that others are suffering, I know what that feels like because I've been there. And even though no one may have been there for me in my time of need, maybe I can be there for someone else. Do you see the difference? Either you are so absorbed in your own suffering that you have no concern for anyone but yourself, or you see that others suffer as you have, and because you know what it's like to suffer, you feel compassion, you feel empathy, and perhaps you even feel compelled to ease the suffering of others. When you're absorbed in your own suffering, it can become your own personal hell. You become cut off from others. You become isolated and alone. You become bitter and miserable, and there is no joy in life for such a person. But when you see that others suffer as you have, you're not alone. In fact, you can connect with others through the suffering that you share. And when you extend yourself to others in kindness, in compassion, that suffering decreases for the both of you. The more that you extend kindness to others, the more that others tend to reciprocate. And life becomes less of a burden because you're helping one another to lighten the load. And the joy that you feel when you see someone relieved of their burden, when you see someone light up because of what you have done for them. And it may not be much. Sometimes the smallest things make all the difference. Sometimes just to know that you aren't alone in your suffering, just to know that someone cares, just to be seen and heard, that can have an enormous impact on a person's life and well-being, and not just on theirs, but on yours as well. When we're selfish and self-absorbed, we tend to be lonely and miserable. But when we're thinking of the well-being of others, extending ourselves to others in kindness, in compassion, and in service, it takes you out of your own suffering. It may not dissolve it entirely, but you suffer much less, and life becomes much more meaningful.